Hello, my students. Today we have lecture number 3. The topic of today's lecture is types of chemical reaction. In lecture, we can consider several problems. There are four types of chemical reaction. First, composition reaction or connection reaction. Second, decomposition or deconnection reaction, and 3, substitution reaction. 4, exchange, and last type of chemical reaction is combustion reaction. Before we can consider these types of chemical reaction, we need consider this basic concepts of chemical reaction. Transformation in which the chemical composition and structure of compound change are called chemical reaction. And in this process, we can see can't change structure and composition. This type we can call physical reaction. Substance obtained after the end of the reaction or called products, and substance we can take before start of chemical reaction we call reagents. Then we can consider these types of chemical reaction. First type of is composition reaction or connection reaction. For example, for these types of chemical reaction, we can take carbon and oxygen elements. In the result of this reaction, we can take one molecule of carboxide. Sometimes we can call these types reaction synthesis reaction. Composition reaction can proceed between several types of chemical substance, as for example, 2 and more simple substance, and the result of this reaction we can take 2 or more chemical substance, and can connect simple substance. 2 simple substance connect, and for example, these types of reaction we can take sodium sulfate and simple with complex substance. This type of reaction can proceed between simple and complex substance. And other type of composition reaction we can say about reaction between 2 complex and between more than 2 substance. For example, iron, this chemical reaction can proceed between iron atom and oxygen atom and water molecules, and in the reaction we can take iron hydroxide. On next slide we can see examples for composition reaction. For example, potassium and chlorine atoms be connect and give 2 molecules potassium chloride. Second type of chemical reaction is second type chemical reaction is decomposition reaction. For example, sodium and chlorine atoms. In this reaction, this substance be decomposed to simple substance, chlorine and sodium atoms. And in general, we can write A, B, and A plus B substance. Decomposition reaction can proceed and several chemical substance. For example, products in this case can be simple substance. For example, 2 molecules of sodium chloride can be take 2 atoms of sodium and 1 atom of chlorine. And complex and simple substance can give in the result decompose of sodium nitrate, and 2 complex substance can give decompose marble or calcium carbonate, and more than 2 products can give this type chemical reaction. For example, 2 molecules of silver nitrate can give 2 atoms of silver and 1 atom of oxygen and 2 molecules on nitro oxide. On next slide, we can see examples for decomposition reaction. In this picture, we can see on mercury oxide decomposed and give in the result this reaction to 2 atoms of mercury and 1 atom of oxygen. 3rd types of substitution reaction. Example, zincum plus copper chloride. In the result this reaction, we can take zincum chloride and copper atom. In general, we can write this type of chemical reaction AB substance AB plus C and AC substance plus B chemical element. So fourth type of chemical reaction is substitution reaction. Substitution reaction can proceed between complex substance. In this type of reaction, we can principle of Butlerov law. For example, lithium and 2 atoms of lithium and 2 molecules water. Lithium atom displace oxygen atom. This on slide we can see the law of Beketov or activities of chemical elements or metals. On this you can see the activity series of metals, lists metal in order of describing reactivity. And reactive metal will replace any metal listed below it in the activity series. Fourth types of chemical reaction is exchange reaction. For example, for these types of chemical reaction, we can take magnesium oxide and calcium sulfate. And in the result this reaction, we can take magnesium sulfate and calcium oxide. In general, we can write this type reaction AB plus CD equal to AD and plus CD substance. Exchange reaction can proceed at any conditions. For example, in the result, this reaction must format low dissociation substance and must format gaseous substance and change or color of chemical solutions. Fifth types of chemical reaction is combustion reaction. For proceed this reaction, we need several substances. For example, oxygen, heat to ignite, and fuel. Sometimes we can call this substance triangle fire. Combustion reaction, when a hydrogen reacts with oxygen gas, this is also called burning. In general, we can write these types of chemical reaction in below. Products are always carbon dioxide and water. That's all. If you haven't any question about today's lecture, I will finish it.